Hey guys, long time no show. It's How Depot 2, and I just wanted to do a really quick report on Heroescon 2014, my experience at Heroescon this year, and I wanted to show you guys everything that I got from the show this year. It's taken me a while to get this done because when I got back from it, it was a pretty hectic work week. It's been 2 hectic work weeks right now, and just haven't had a chance to do a video. Honestly, I haven't had a lot of time to even sort through all the stuff I've really got. I need to set aside some time to do that because it's just been crazy. Because my wife had a birthday, my son's birthday is today, and it's just been crazy. With that being said, though, I do want to get this video over quickly. I got a lot of stuff to show you guys. Hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Been enjoying a lot of the other Heroescon videos that I've seen so far, and I just want to add mine to it. So we're going to first talk a little bit about the show, show you a little bit about what I got, and then I'll show you some stuff I got signed at the very end. Heroescon this year. It happens every year at Charlotte Convention Center. This year it was later in June than it was 2013, and it coincided with Wizard World Philadelphia. So there was a lot of concern about attendance and also concern leading up to the show about the vendors and vendor quality and what vendors would have available. And I can go ahead and say that I thought that the vendor side of the show was excellent. I thought that the artist and creator side of the show was excellent. They really filled out the convention center. It was a bigger crowd than last year. I definitely felt like that was the case. I felt like the lines and the aisles were longer than they were last year. It was just a great experience overall. I think everybody came away from it pretty happy. Haven't heard much negativity from any dealers who were there saying they had a bad show. Last year I heard a lot of that, and it was nice to hear that most guys did better this year, and I hope that the attendance numbers will stay up for next year's show as well. It's going to be later in June like it was this past year. Hopefully it's not going to be competing against any other show on the East Coast. I think Wizard World is going to have their show next year on the West Coast at the same time as Heroescon. So. With that being said, my wife and I, we left out early this year for it. It's usually a 3-day show starting on Friday and running to Sunday. We actually got into Charlotte on Thursday, checked into the hotel. We stay at the Westin every year. Got to hand it to the Westin. It's always a nice place to stay. Heroescon always gets us a good convention rate for it. Just really nice place to be and hang out and relax. It's right next to the convention center, so there's not that far a walk. It's just a really good experience overall. My wife and I look forward to it every single year. So we checked in on Thursday. Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, we were able to go shopping for her, which is what she looks forward to about going to Charlotte every single year. Got all the shopping out of the way for her. Woke up bright and early Friday morning. Had to run back because something had been lost. We had lost something at the mall. Went back to the mall that Friday morning. Got everything from the mall that we needed, came back and started the show Friday morning, and I was there all 3 days. I want to give a shout out to Tim, or as most of you guys know, Howler Mouse. We hung out all day Friday and most of Sunday. I hate he wasn't able to be there on Saturday, but when I start to get into some stuff I got signed, you understand we really wouldn't have had much time to really hang out anyway, unless he was in line with me. We had a great time Friday, just hanging out, fellowshipping, talking about comics, looking through bins, talking to vendors. I was there whenever he got stuff signed by Jeff Smith. I was there whenever he sold some books to a buddy of mine, Sam, at Hey Kids Comics, and made a little money. Pretty much paid for his day, or at least the purchases he made at Heroescon that day. We just had a great time. It was really great to hang out with them. Friday was a slow day at the show, which makes it very nice to meet creators because the lines aren't that long. The deals aren't as good from the vendors though. They're not looking to make a killing on Friday. They want to start making money though, so they're willing to work with you, but it's not like a Sunday deal. I had a lot of guys tell me after I'd ask them, what the Sunday price was, they'd say, well, come back on Sunday and maybe you'll find out if it's still here. So Friday was a good day. Saturday we got up bright and early. Again, we got out to the show. When we got into the show, you could just tell that it was a busy show day. A lot more people on the floor, a lot more cosplay. I spent the majority of Saturday in line waiting for one particular creator, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the video. And then Sunday, Tim came back, but my wife and I, we were pretty much conned out at that point. We had seen everything we needed to see. I'd gotten everything signed I wanted signed. I'd gotten pretty much everything on my want list that I really was looking for. Got all that stuff out of the way. I just looked for a couple of quick deals. I wanted to spend a little extra time just kind of hanging out with Tim. We were able to stay a little later. We were able to stay to 3, but we actually left about 2. Just because we were just burnt out from the show and we were ready to come back home. And that was the end of it. I hated to see it end. Only got 50 more weeks to go right now to the next one, and I'm counting them down. So with that, let's talk about the stuff that I picked up. I do want to show this off. This is from my friend Hector. You can find Hector on YouTube. He does 5 Minute Frenzy. This is his book, Faith and Fandom. It's about finding God in basically pop culture and comic books, video games, those sorts of things. It's a really good book. It has essays that he's written based on video games, Doctor Who, Batman, a lot of comic book characters, even television shows like Breaking Bad. He looks at them from the standpoint of faith and what it means to be a believer in Christ, and how you can find God in these things in pop culture. It's a very good book. It's selling really well. It's on Amazon right now. I think you can get it on Kindle for like $5, or maybe even less than that. It might be $2 or $3. It's not that expensive at all. I'd gotten this before the show, but I carried it because I realized he hadn't signed it for me yet, so I got him to sign it for me. Was really happy to see him set up at the show, and from what I was told, he had a really good show overall. So please check that out if you get a chance. I go to shows too, and I buy a lot of stuff just to resell. And at the show this year, I picked up a lot of books from a couple of dealers that just were, they were just blowing out stuff, just trying to get it sold. And I knew I could sell it either back to my comic shop for more than I paid for it, or make some lots and sell them on eBay, which do pretty good. I picked up 2 copies of Green Goblin #1. I pulled these out of a guy's bin who was just blowing them out, and I didn't pay that much for them, and I know that at the very least they could be trade fodder if I don't really find a good way to get them sold online. Spawn. I tell you guys, Spawn, especially the stuff from about 130 up, 150 up, pre-200 issues, are very hard to find. The in-game stuff where Al Simmons loses or is no longer Spawn, let me say it that way, and we get a new person wearing the Spawn outfit, is a very highly sought-after story, and it was printed pretty low. So I picked up a bunch of copies of it. These are copies of 188. I grabbed these for $1 a piece. Here's a copy of, or a couple copies of 187. I got these. All these came from the same dealer. I got these on Sunday as we were heading out because it was just too good to pass up. I missed a couple things, and I regret that, but still, it was just great to just grab these. This is 186. I got 3 copies of 192. 3 copies of 189 as well, and I think I got some 190s. I know I got some 190s. That's kind of the big one in the Spawn in-game. Actually, 185 is the big one, but the next one will be 190 in the Spawn in-game run. So I've got those somewhere, and I'll show them if I come across them. Found a copy of Batman 655, which of course is Damian's first appearance. Pulled that out of a cheap bin. And this guy was selling a bunch of Amazing Spider-Man books from the McFarlane run for just $1, and I couldn't believe it, so I got doubles. This is 302. Again, this is McFarlane. I got 304. Again, this is McFarlane. Sorry, my screensaver came on. I grabbed up out of a quarter bin. I thought I had it. I guess I must have picked it up and kept it for myself, but I picked up a couple extra issues. Sword of Azrael, issue 1 and issue 4. This is a book that I've seen people talk about online. I don't know if it has any value or not, but I saw it in a quarter bin on Sunday, so I got it. It's called Street Poet Ray. It was put out by Marvel, I think back in 1990. It's a square-bound book. Very obscure is what I've been told, and I don't know if people really want it or not, but I figured what the heck, it's just a quarter, it's not hurt anything. On Friday, a friend of mine on the CGC boards had a booth set up, and he was selling a lot of good stuff for just $1. And I got 2 books, two last issue books. This is Flash 350. The last issue of the original Flash run, and the last World's Finest at 323. Pretty hard to find books. Got a big run of Swamp Things, and I'm going to show you guys most of my Swamp Things, but this was an extra one that I picked up that I'll probably try to sell on eBay or somewhere. This is Swamp Thing issue 64, the last issue that Alan Moore did. I got multiple copies of that. The Many Deaths of Batman, John Byrne goodness. The Near Silent issue 433. I already had a copy of this, but again, it was in a quarter bin, so I grabbed up a copy of it. Conan the Barbarian, annual number 2. I think I got this out of a dollar bin somewhere, and I've still got to put it in a bag and board. I got a Man Thing number 1 for just $2. Thought that was a good deal. Here are my Spawn 190s. I actually got 3 copies of it. And I already have copies of all these that I've showed you already. So these are doubles, triples, quadruples. That's why I was getting them. Spawn 225, this is the cool issue because this one shows that Romney wins. There are 2 versions of this. There's the Romney and the Obama. And another double that I got out of that guy's dollar bin that had all the Amazing Spider-Mans. I was really surprised with this one. This is 301. Double issue there. Some other doubles. I hate showing you guys all these doubles, but I do want to show them off. These are more than just doubles. I've got 5 copies of this. This is Batman New 52 issue 2. I think if there's one book that has become popular for the new 52 books coming out of DC, it has been Batman. That is for sure. So when I saw a whole bunch of these Batman 52 number 2s, I know they're not as valuable as number 1, not really as valuable as 3 either, but still a desirable book anyway. And I wanted multiples of it because you never know when you're going to need to trade. Never know whenever you're going to need to sell at the price I got them at. I mean, at less than cover price, you can at least sell it for cover and make your money back. One thing I didn't do this year at Heroes that I've done for the last 3 years straight, I always get something signed by a creator and get it CGC'd. And I show you my CGC reveal videos. This is the first year that I have not done that. And I was upset because Rick Remender was going to be there, and I had a book already prepped, prepared, and lined up to get signed by him and Esad Ribic. But it ended up that Remender didn't show up, and I didn't want to get Esad to sign it just by himself because I don't really read it for Esad's art as much as I read it for Remender's story. I did pick up one Uncanny X-Force book. This is issue 6. I have almost a near complete run now of Uncanny X-Force. I think I'm only missing issue 22 now from having the entire run. I've got some multiples and some doubles of some of the issues too. Still more of the Many Deaths of Batman. This is 435. Still got to put some tape on that one. Some new Batmans. These came out of a dollar bin. This is issue 26 of New 52. I went through a period when I wasn't picking up my pull list, and I missed a couple issues. This is issue 25, the black cover, hard black cover. Get those in 9.8 if you want them CGC while you can. Here's issue 8. Couldn't believe I found this. This was floating everywhere, all over the show. You'd find New 52 Batman, the early stuff, Night of the Owl stuff, pre-issue 13, and all this stuff was going for way over cover. And I found this one dealer, and he was selling stuff at half of cover, so I only paid $2 for issue 8. And I think I've got the full run of this now. I think I do now have every issue of the New 52 Batman. Batman 416. You're going to see a trend here, guys. I have a lot of Batman. I filled a lot of holes. There was just a lot of cheap Batman in the room. Here's Batman 464. It's just hard to pass stuff up when they're selling stuff at like $5 for $1 on Sunday, or $4 for $1, or you hand them a bunch of books and they're too lazy to count it, and they say, look, just give me $3. You just kind of go with it. Some more Batman. This is Detective Comics 456. I got this one. It's not in the greatest of shape, but I didn't get it for the shape. I got it for the fact that it's a Whitman variant, and I'm still collecting these. This one, crud. I'm not even sure what issue number this is. I'm sure it's pre-year 1, so it's probably in the 300s somewhere. But it's a Whitman variant. You can see that up there. That's what I got it for. Mini Deaths of Batman Part 2. This is 434. So I have the full story. I think I've got this in double now, to be quite honest. Batman 453. This is part of Dark Knight, Dark City. I picked up a lot of these later Batman books for a quarter on Sunday. Batman 444. I just like that cover. This is a key Batman book. This is 237. It's not in the greatest condition, but it is the first appearance of the Reaper. And you can see it's got some damage over here on the spine, but I did not pay. I did not pay the asking price for it. I didn't pay a whole lot for it anyway, so I was just happy to get it. Another cool Reaper cover. This is Batman 372. Now, these were a couple books that I was really excited for. This is Batman 369. This is the first Deadshot in the Batman series since the Silver Age, and the first Deadshot since the Silver Age period came in Detective Comics 474, which I also picked up a copy for. It says $6 on here, but I think I got a half off. I think I paid $3 for it. I didn't pay cover for a lot of stuff. I like Spook. I found a guy who had some Batman with the Spook villain in it. This is Batman 252. Batman 267. Really looking forward to reading this. This is Batman 351. As it says on the cover, what stalks the Gotham Knight? And he's got vampire teeth, so it's going to be an interesting read. A 10 Nights of the Beast issue. Again, I paid $0.25 for it. This is $4.19. Some more Batman. Guys, I'm telling you, I got a lot of Batman. Batman 671. The return or the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. Ra's is probably my favorite Batman villain, so anytime I can pick up a book, I'm looking forward to the new story where he is working with Ra's to bring Damian back. But this is issue 671. This is pre-52. $4.90 490 and 491 I've been told are kind of hard to find books because they happened just before Nightfall, and Nightfall really rejuvenated the Batman franchise. So I got 490, and I also got a 491. It's a good Joker cover too. More Batman. This is 432. This is 414. Again, I mean, if you're trying to put together a decent run and you're at a con and you're finding these kind of books in quarter bins, you're going to pick them up. This is Batman and Other DC Classics. It was free for whatever it was or brought out for originally, but I had to pay the guy a quarter for it. Here's some Azrael books. This is book 4. And there's book 2. More Batman. Batman Annual 10 with Hugo Strange. Hugo's another one that I really like as a villain. And I couldn't find this book anywhere except at one guy's booth the whole weekend, so I went back to him on Sunday. I didn't like the fact that he was going to pull prices out of Overstreet, and I was like, oh man, he's going to try to rip me for this, and he didn't. He gave me a really fair deal on this issue. This is issue 354, another Hugo Strange story. Trying to get the glare off that Mylar. Oh. Batman 286. This came from a 70% off sale on Sunday. It was $9 originally, so 70% off at $9. I didn't pay a whole lot for it. Good Joker cover. Batman issue 12. Again, I think I've finished out my entire run of Batman New 52 now. And I got this one there out of a dollar bin because I've seen this at my LCS and everything else. And I know this is a filler issue between the Court of Owls storyline, the Night of Owls storylines, and Death of the Family, and I didn't want to pay cover price for a filler story. A guy on Sunday was selling DCs at half off, so I got a giant size Batman. I'm trying to remember what issue this is. It's covered up with stickers, but it's a Scarecrow story. I was looking for a Scarecrow. Couple of Scarecrow books, and I did get this one. That was the best price I found on it all weekend, $3. It's in pretty decent condition. The other ones I saw were in about the same condition. They were asking at least 12 or 15. Black Spider cover. This is Batman 306. $321 with the crucifixion cover. Nova number 2. I want to go ahead and tell you guys that Nova's going to be a big deal after Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like we're going to see Nova in some form or fashion. If not, he is going to become a character with a movie. I just see it happen. So, also got Nova number 3. And now we get into the Swamp Things I got. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys I got a lot of Swamp Things too. This is the annual from '91. This is the only Vertigo issue I got. This is 134. See Swampy down there. 86. Again, they're standing on top of Swampy. I love this cover. This is 87. It's a cool looking cover. Here's some issues, the more issues. This is issue 40. I couldn't believe how much Swamp Thing was in back issue value bins, especially the More run. But this is issue 40. This is a good issue to pick up if you're out there looking for issues that you might want to flip. This is issue 67. This is the Swamp Thing where there's a Hellblazer preview in the back. You know, Constantine's getting his own TV show this fall, and all the Constantine stuff is just blowing up right now because of it. Another issue of 64 I showed you earlier. The Crisis crossover issue 46. Good Alan Moore goodness. 63. Still Alan Moore goodness. Issue 88. Swamp Thing. 79. I love this Superman cover. It's really cool. And 84. Alright guys, I'm going to try to go a little quicker because I've got a buttload more to go through. 68. That might be all the Swamp Things I've got. No, it's not. I know I got some more. This is a really high-grade copy of Daredevil 126, and I just found it, the colors just pop on this issue. It just looks great, and I just grabbed it because it was such an inexpensive issue in the bin I found it in. 185 Daredevil. Good old Frank Miller goodness on Daredevil. 252. I grabbed that one because it's part of Follow the Mutants. 229. I think I bought this, and this is a double, but I thought it was an issue I was missing. This is part of the Born Again storyline from Daredevil. If you've never read Born Again, you need to find it. It's not that expensive. I saw copies of it in quarter bins and 5 for $1 bins all over Heroescon the whole weekend. If you like The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, you will love Born Again. It redefined, in my opinion, it redefines Matt Murdock and Daredevil as characters because it tears them down, and then he has to be built back up from the ground up. Another $1 Amazing Spidey issue, 306. And another issue of 302. These are the ones I'm keeping. And 304. Again, I mean, to get McFarlane Spidey's for $1, you can't pass it up. Spectacular 189 with the hologram cover. I've heard these are getting tougher to find. Now, whether or not that's the truth or not, I don't know. They were in plentiful supply at certain booths the whole weekend of Heroescon. This is my copy of Amazing 301. So I did get a double of it. Swamp Thing Annual. This is annual number 2. This is when he goes to hell. And an original Swamp Thing. This is issue 18. Pretty sure I don't have this one. Trying to fill out both my Saga run and also my original run from the 70s. More Spawn. Got a copy of 22, 36, and 34. Also got a copy of 79, a copy of 201. I love that cover. It's just such a cool cover. And 191. Still part of Endgame. This is the Obama Wins cover I was telling you about earlier from issue 225. Putting together a really decent Spawn run. Spawn, I have a feeling that Spawn's going to see a resurgence in the near future. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just had this feeling that those guys that grew up on Spawn are starting to get to my age, and I think they're going to be looking to fill holes and create collections. And again, Spawn's interest waned after the movie. So, Brave and the Bold issues 122, Batman and Swampy. You can kind of see a trend in what I was buying this weekend. 159 Brave and the Bold. This is when he teams up with Ra's al Ghul. Here's another Whitman variant I picked up because it's a Whitman variant. This is a Brave and the Bold issue. I'm not sure which one, but it's him and the Unknown Soldier. And another Brave and the Bold issue. Unsure what issue number, but this is he and Metamorpho, Whitman variant. Another Batman Swamp Thing Brave and the Bold. This is 176. Let's see, more Daredevils. 265. Was really happy to find this one. 159, second Frank Miller. Second Frank Miller art on the issue, or on the title. Wolverines. Here's 124. Here's 120. Again, as cheap as these were going, I couldn't pass them up. Tomb of Dracula. I have never read Tomb of Dracula, but I decided to pick it up. This is issue 49. It was only $1, so I figured it was worth the shot to read it, see what I think of it. I went by the 12-gauge comic booth, and I met the writer of Sherwood, Texas, which is a new miniseries coming out from 12-gauge here real soon. I love this free comic book day issue. It piqued my interest, and I want to read the story, so I got the writer to sign a copy for me, and he customized it for me, and it was really cool to meet him. I look forward to seeing this come out. I think you guys should be reading this whenever it hits stands. It's really good. This one also has a flip book for a Boondock Saints story, so if you're into the Boondock Saints, it's worth the check out. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 90. This is the reboot of the story after the Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams run. A reboot of the title. Jonah Hex 23. I picked this up because this is the second part of the story when Jonah Hex is put into the present, and I love that. I haven't been reading Jonah Hex. I'm hoping he stays in the present. I know they're canceling this title, and I hate that that's happening. I hate I haven't supported it like I should. Jonah Hex is one of my favorite characters, but even still, I wanted to finish this story. My problem is I just can't buy books at $3.99 every month in huge quantities. I don't have a great big pull list. So Iron Man 152, first stealth armor. I think I found this in a dollar bin somewhere along the way, and this was on my wish list. I was really glad to see it. Fantastic Four Annual 21. I used to own this years ago. This is one of my books that I bought with my dad growing up, and I sold it when my wife and I got married. So I found a copy again, and I grabbed it. Was not going to let this go again. Good memories of those days back then with my dad. Alright, Green Lantern 50. When he becomes Parallax. That's a double of mine. Superman Batman number 2. And I realized whenever I was reading it after I bought it, that it was actually signed by Ed McGuinness. And same thing for issue 3, signed by Ed McGuinness. Very cool. Superman 204. I got this one because it's the mirror image of the Batman 608 second print that I have CGC'd 9.8, and I wanted a copy just to kind of put in comparison to it. Southern Bastards number 1. This is the Heroescon variant. If you're not reading this book, you need to, especially if you live south of the Mason-Dixon. If you live north of it, buy it too, but if you live south of it, you will appreciate this book in so many different ways. Issue 3 comes out this week. I can't wait to go to the comic shop Friday and pick up my copy. It's a good read. Jason Aaron is really spinning a great tale. Spawn Wildcats number 1. I bought this for the fact that it's just a Alan Moore story. We'll see if it's worth anything. I've heard mixed things. Classic X-Men number 2. This is a reprinting of X-Men 94. I have a copy of already, but I wanted something just to have that I could pull out and read. Uncanny X-Men 246. I think that's the only Uncanny I got this whole weekend. Doom Patrol 27. I got this one just because it's got a Wes Craven Shocker poster still on the inside, and I'm probably going to tear that out. I've also wanted to read Doom Patrol because I heard Grant Morrison did a good job with it. Got this for $1. Gotham by Gaslight. This is my second copy of it, but this one looks like it's never been read, so I just wanted an extra copy. And hey, look, more Swamp Thing. Got a 69. Got a 70. That's a cool cover. Got an 89. I got a 90. I got a 91. I got a 93. Hey, look, it's a Moore story. This is 58. It's got Hawkman and Hawkgirl involved. Very cool. Very cool. More Wolverine. This is a 142 issue. Here's a variant to Wolverine Origins issue 6. I got this because it's got Omega Red on the cover. I'm a big fan of Omega Red. Not a huge fan of Ed McGuinness, who I think did that cover, but still. Here's a 141. And I was looking for Wolverine 47 and 48, but I couldn't find them. But I did find Wolverine 46, and this is where he is. I think he's teamed up with Sabretooth in this story. We're just about done, guys. Wolverine 3. These earlier issues are getting harder to find at cheap prices. So when I saw a 3 in a dollar bin, I grabbed it. 131. I want to see if this is the one that's been censored or not. I have a feeling it's uncensored because I've heard there's not that many of the censored versions really out there because they didn't get returned. 134. And then I got some weird War Tales. Issue 53. Love these old stories. Uh-oh. Issue 61. And they're not in the greatest shape. They got some water damage, but still for $0.25 you can't pass it up. And 74. Alright. So that's my comics. Now, Saturday, Kevin Eastman was there. And Kevin Eastman is one of the co-creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who just so happened to... Ooh, I have actually left out a bunch of comics. I'll get to those in a second. Anyway, Kevin Eastman just so happens to have been at Heroescon. Now, when I got there Friday, I was expecting that on Friday he would be signing, but he wasn't. He was only signing on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday morning, I got to the show. Remember I told you Howler Mouse wasn't there. So I got there earlier than my wife, and I saw a line for Eastman's table. Got to the end of it, and the guy there said, nope, this isn't the end of the line. Go down that line. There was another line set up that split so traffic could get through the middle of the show floor. So I got at the end of that line. That was at 10 o'clock. At just a hair after 2 p.m., I finally got to the front of that line to meet Mr. Kevin Eastman. So if you do your math, I stood in line for 4 hours to meet him. There was a 2-item limit. He was only signing 2 things per person. He took pictures with everybody who wanted a picture with him. He was very friendly, very cordial, very apologetic to us guys who've been waiting so long. So it was worth the wait just for that, to know that he was appreciative of us. My wife stood in line with me because we had more than 2 things to get signed. My son's birthday is today, and we wanted to get him something signed by Kevin because he loves Ninja Turtles. His best friend at church turns 7 next month, and we wanted to get him something as well. So I found these really cool prints, and I want to show this off to everybody. So I'll angle it up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. This is a print of the Ninja Turtles. We had Kevin sign them and he personalized them to both the boys down here. The cool thing about it is this: I bought this print at the show. This print is by an artist named Billy Martin, and I only knew him as an artist. At least I thought I only knew him as an artist until we got back to the hotel room and I started to look up on YouTube, and I was going to send him or not YouTube, but on Twitter, and I was going to send him a message just thanking him for these, because he was really excited whenever I told him I was getting this stuff signed by Eastman. He wanted me to bring it back so he could take pictures of it, and that's what I did. And he was so excited to know that Eastman had seen his work. When we got back to the room, we started doing a little research on Billy Martin. Come to find out, this Billy Martin is the Billy Martin that is the guitarist for Good Charlotte, the band Good Charlotte. So we got it double awesome because he signed it for us and Eastman signed both of them for us too, which was really cool for him to do. So Eastman signed those two for us. And then for me, Eastman signed two things. First thing he signed for me was a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, by Archie Comics. This is the comics adaptation of the first movie put out by Archie. He did it in silver ink, you can kind of see there. So he did that for me. And then there was one other thing I needed him to do for me. I'd been told that Eastman would sign anything, and I wanted to put that to the test. When we got to the front of the line, there was a guy standing there kind of telling us when it was okay to go up, step up to see him. I said, man, what's the coolest thing that you've seen Kevin Eastman sign today? And he said a copy of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. I said, well, I think I got it beat. And whenever I pulled aside the Ninja Turtle comic book and showed him this, he busted out laughing and he said, yeah, I think you win the prize for coolest thing today. I got Kevin Eastman to sign my vintage copy of Vanilla Ice's Ninja Rap video single from when I was a kid on VHS. Folks, this is out of print. They don't make these anymore. This has not been put back on DVD or Blu-ray or anything like that. This is it. This is the only way you can get it. And I'm sure it's on YouTube, but still, it's just cool to have. Kevin got a kick out of it. He told me that he's never met Vanilla Ice, but he knows that Vanilla Ice is a huge fan, which I thought was awesome and really interesting to find out as well. I was just really happy to get it, and this made the 4-hour wait worthwhile. People in line, we would talk and chat about what we were getting signed, and when people realized this is what I was getting signed by them, they thought it was really cool to see, because a lot of people had never even seen this before. All right, let's talk about my good books. I actually went under budget this year. I had more money left in my pocket this year than I thought I would, because a lot of the books that I had been wanting I had picked up before the show. So there were just a few books that aren't really necessarily huge keys, so they're not that expensive for me to pick up, but I did want to grab. I got a copy of Walking Dead 66. This is The Death of Dale. That's one of my keys I picked up. This one isn't really a key, but it wouldn't fit in my Silver Age bags because it's oversized, so I had to put it in my Silver Age Mylars my Golden Age Mylars because they're just bigger. This is DC Special number 6. This has the sci-fi western cover done by Neil Adams. It's probably my favorite Neil Adams cover, outside of the work he's done on Batman. Still more Swamp Thing, guys. I did pick up Swamp Thing 21 because the deal was just too good to pass up. I just threw down a bunch of books for one guy, and I said, make me a deal. And he made a deal that I couldn't walk away from, and it included this issue. This is the retelling or the recreation of the character overall. This is a new origin for Swamp Thing. I told you guys Nova was going to be big, so I made sure I got my copy of Nova #1 while I was there. This was part of that bulk deal I made for the 21 Swamp Thing issue as well. This came in that, along with issues 2 and 3 of Nova. Ooh. DC Comics presents 47. First Masters of the Universe in comic books. I saw this book everywhere, and it ranged in price. This was the lowest price copy I could find. The guy worked me a deal and got it even lower. I was happy. He was happy. I've got my first He-Man in comic books. These books look great in Mylars too. This was my big one that I looked all over for on the show. I finally asked a dealer. He didn't have a copy, but he said he had one at home. He said he would get it and bring it back to me the next day. It was a quarter of the price of the cheapest copy I could find, so I got it. This is Batman 244, the famous Ra's al Ghul cover with the sword, the hairy-chested Batman that's still wearing pants even though his suit has been torn off, showing pants. Evidently he wears black-covered underoos, is the joke that most people say. Really happy to get that. Got another book I want to show you guys. This is my Grail book, but I got it, I cheated, and I got this before Heroescon, but it came in before we left. You guys know I love Dark Shadows. I've been looking, my Grail has been a Dark Shadows #1 with the poster. I'm not going to take it out of the bag to prove it to you, but you just got to take my word for it because this is high grade goodness. This is a Dark Shadows #1 from Gold Key with the Barnabas Collins poster still inside. I mean, it's so fresh on the inside that when you turn to the page is still crisp at the centerfold. So it has rarely been opened. Very cool to have. Very happy to have it. Getting that before the show at a good price on eBay made the rest of the show pretty inexpensive for me. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry it took so long. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.